Okay, so breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing is essentially, for those who don't know, when you have an ex. So I'm going to talk about, in this perspective, the perspective of a man. So your ex girlfriend who's dumped you, her breadcrumbing you is essentially giving you enough encouragement to keep talking, but not giving you the relationship back. So you might be carrying on with your life. You might be carrying on with your life. You might have said, you know what? I've done enough begging. I've done enough pleading. She's clearly not into me. And I'm just going to carry on with my life as you should. However, what then proceeds to happen is maybe a month or two later, your ex comes back and maybe drops you a couple of messages. And these messages aren't because she wants to be back with you. These messages are essentially her seeing if she can still have you. And not all women do this. I'm not saying all women do this. I'm just saying that this is something that has been observed by some, some women have done this. You will be getting on with your life and then you'll receive a text like, hey, how you doing? And then you respond to that message and it might go 2 messages deep, or maybe even she might even ignore that message. And that is simply her seeing if she can still have you. You see, everyone wants to be desired. Everyone wants to be desired. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you say. Deep down, you would prefer people to want you than not want you. And so your ex, whether consciously or subconsciously or a little bit of both, sometimes they still want you to want them, even though they don't want to be with you. And I know that that is not great, but that's just sometimes what people are like. So she might shoot you a message and you might be going back and forth for a bit. And then all of a sudden she realizes, okay, I still have this guy. If this guy wants, if this guy, if I wanted to, I could still be with this guy would sign up to be back with me tomorrow. And then the sort of satisfaction is lived, and then she gets over that satisfaction and then she goes off and carries on with what she's doing. That's an example of breadcrumbing, giving you enough to be encouraged, to think, do you know what, maybe if I try harder, then she will come back. But she doesn't give you enough to actually get the relationship back. That's what breadcrumbing essentially is. She's keeping you around, or if it's the other way around, the guy might be keeping the woman around. But in this particular video, I'm talking about it from a guy's perspective. She's keeping you around, but not getting back with you. In my opinion, even straight after the breakup, often, she might say, let's continue talking as friends. Again, that's not for your benefit. You might be encouraged by that. To think, okay, well, if I just, show her how amazing I am, she's going to get back with me. Most likely not. You're better off if you want to get her back, just go no contact. But she wants that sometimes so that she can, keep you there while she's prospecting the field. This can happen also. So breadcrumbing, essentially, in a nutshell, is keeping someone... Breadcrumbing in a nutshell is essentially giving someone enough encouragement to think they have a chance, but never actually giving them that chance. And some women do this, when they've broken up with you. My suggestion would be, don't take breadcrumbs. Don't take breadcrumbs. Sometimes it's going to be hard to see where it's coming from. How are you going to know if it's a breadcrumb when you're trying to get your ex back? My solution to that would be, don't try and get your ex back. If your ex does come back and, you two kick it off and you end up getting back together, that's one thing. I would say be detached from outcomes. If your ex comes back and, she messages you and you don't know if it's a breadcrumb or not, you need to have a I don't care sort of, or not I don't care, but a detached perspective on it. So if you can say, all right, I'm going to message her with the same tone she's messaging me. If she gets back to me, she gets back to me. If she doesn't, then she doesn't. That's the best way if you don't know if it's a breadcrumb. But ultimately, if you get thrown a couple breadcrumbs and you identify it, you know, you can either just choose to start ignoring your ex, or you can say to her, look, you know, I want to give this another go. If you are up for giving this another go, no matter how slow or fast you want to take it, that's fine. But I'm not going to be someone who is just there for attention. And then you leave it at that. And then it's the ball's in her court. Anyway, let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work and want to leave a donation, there's a link for that in the description. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.